Celeb Secrets is hanging out here with Don Benjamin today. What's going on?
I'm chilling. How's it going?
Good. I know that you actually did release a book.
I mean, it's crazy. I did not think I was gonna be writing a book at the top of this year. I always wanted to write a book. I just never really knew like where I was gonna take it. Like I wanted to kind of tell my life story because a lot of people have no idea like all the stuff that I went through. So I always wanted to put in a book, but I didn't know how I was gonna lay it out. So the top of the year, things didn't really go as planned. I hit a roadblock with relationship and then quarantine and everything just felt like my world kind of came to an end. And I was like, I talked to my life coach and he was like, this is that time to write that book you wanted to write. And so, I put in a lot of work top of the year, talking to therapists, reading books, talking to my pastor and life coach, and just honestly the words just kind of just flew like water. Honestly, like it just came to me so easily and I had no idea I was capable to write a book like this, but it's a super blessing for sure.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, it does cover your journey from how you started in the Midwest and now you're a model, an author, musician. So maybe talk to us a little bit about that journey, how you started to eventually where you are now.
Yeah, so my mother moved me to Minnesota from Chicago when I was like 3 years old. They didn't want to raise me on the south side of Chicago, so they moved to Minneapolis, and my mother and father separated pretty early. My father had like some drug issues, so my mother pretty much raised me on her own. She met like boyfriends and we would move out of state, move to Florida for a little while, back to Minnesota, moved to Mississippi. I'm like, what are we doing in Mississippi?
Wow.
And then went back to Minnesota. But really it was just my mother just hustling to take care of me, doing whatever she could, and me just kind of finding my way in the inner city, trying to find a circle to connect with and find what I love. And I found myself in love with basketball. And as it came time to graduate, I realized like I wasn't gonna go to the NBA, so I gotta find a new passion. And I loved entertainment, so I took like the music and acting route. And I came out to LA to visit a cousin of mine who lived out here, and I fell in love with LA. I was like, I have to live in LA. There's no way around it. So I went back to Minnesota. I'm like 19 years old. Go back to Minnesota, put my notice in my job. I worked at a furniture store. Put my notice in, took out a little student loan at college, and I packed up and came to LA to chase my dreams, and was out here for 7 years, kind of hustling, trying to figure my way out before getting the opportunity to go on America's Next Top Model. And that kind of just set the path for everything that I've been doing now. That was a blessing that I was waiting for. But it took 7 years of grinding to get it,
And would you say your roots shaped you into who you are today?
Oh, for sure. I mean, definitely having to figure things out, having to make a way out of no way, watching my mother grind, watching my father go through the struggles that he had to go through fighting addiction and homelessness, and a lot of that struggle kind of helped mold me to want to break the chain of the generational curses, you know what I'm saying? So that definitely molded me. Having a strong circle around me of guys that were all kind of focused on the same goal in our career to succeed helped me as well. But yeah, definitely I try to use every situation in my life to mold who I am, and I'm never afraid to like sit myself down, point things out, and change what I have to change to better myself. So for sure.
You talking about everything that you're covering in the book, I feel like you get really vulnerable when talking in the book. So was there maybe like something really hard for you that you had to put down on paper? And if so, can you tell us about
it? Whole book. Honestly, I think I cried right in every chapter, like no BS, like all the way from talking about my parents' struggles, my father's addictions, to me having to realize that I had that issue, that I was hungry for the attention, to losing my relationship early in the year, to I have a chapter in there where I talk about my father, where I kind of like tell him I forgive him. Like my father passed away, but I kind of got those emotions out on paper. It was super hard. Honestly, every chapter in the book was super, because for me, I had to kind of just set everything aside, my ego aside. I'm airing out my dirty laundry, like, you know, I'm putting it all out there so that I can start fresh and move forward from here on out. So it was super tough for me. It was super emotional, but it was like clarity in the same time, you know?
Absolutely. And what do you want people to take away from the book?
I want people to really be able to look at the and be able to sit themselves down and take a look at themselves and you know, become the best version of themselves. I put like a journaling segment after each chapter so the reader can actually sit down and take away what they need to for themselves and ask themselves questions about each chapter. Because for me, I think it's very important. A lot of times we're so busy in the moment and we're caught up in the moment that we don't sit ourselves down and look and be like, okay, what do I need to pick apart for myself and change so that I'm not just stuck in this same unhealthy pattern. So I really want people to be able to do what I did and set yourself down, hold yourself accountable for the mistakes you've made or the issues that keep repeating themselves so you can grow and become a better version of yourself in the future.
Absolutely. And would you say you're the best version of yourself right now at this current time?
I'm definitely the best version I've been,
okay.
and I think forever, but I'm definitely becoming a better version, so I'm super excited. But yeah, I'm the best version I've been in a while.
What's one thing that you really want to do once quarantine's over? Do you have a list, like a bucket list?
I want to go on a trip. It's funny because I did a lot of traveling last year, and I was like, man, if I could just be home for a while, it'd be so good. And look, now I'm home all year.
Yep.
So I definitely want to travel. I need to go to an island. I miss traveling now that I'm stuck at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't believe it's been like 6 months. I know for me, like I travel a lot too, and I've been home for 6 months and I'm like kind of losing my mind, not gonna lie.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And I want to play basketball. All the basketball courts, they took the rims off all the hoops. So
yeah.
yeah.
You're in LA?
I'm in LA, yeah. Where are you at?
I'm in New York.
Oh, New York, okay.
Yeah. But there's basketball on TV now, so you can watch it. You're all good.
True. But that makes me want to play even more. I'm watching, I'm like,
Yeah. Who's your team? Who are you rooting for?
I got money on the Lakers this year.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll see. I mean, they are doing really well, so I follow a little bit. We are Celeb Secrets, so I ask people about their secrets. Do you maybe have any like fun facts or hidden talents that people wouldn't know about you?
Fun hidden talents. Recently, last year I was showing people a hidden talent. I learned how to juggle.
Okay.
So now I could kind of juggle. I'm learning how to do magic, so I'm about to become like a really good magician. I think that's about to be my next hidden talent.